How are you?
Good, how are you, sir?
Yeah.
Good.
Ami okay dhore niye aschi. Ekdom literally I catch him up, caught him, and I told him, please say something to my viewers, my buyers, my sellers, that actually in the loan process, আমি একটু বাংলায় বলে নিই, then I will ask him যে আমরা যখন লোন প্রসেস করি সবাই অনেক বিরক্ত হন, এত বিরক্ত হন যে এত ডকুমেন্ট কেন দেখতে চান। অ্যান্ড আমি এই কোশ্চেনগুলো করবো যে ওনাদের লোন প্রসেসে আসলে কমপ্লিকেটেড পার্টটা কোন জায়গায়, এবং কিছু কেস স্টাডি আলাপ করবো উইদিন 10 minutes. So আমি যেটা Jason, I would like to tell something.
Yes.
So people are very, very frustrated. They don't like to go with the lender. Yeah. They hate lenders, believe me. Because they don't maintain their file properly. That is the most important thing. Yeah. And I don't tell that everybody, but some are.
You're telling everybody.
I'm telling you. Yeah. But what I mean that what are the you know, everybody knows that what type of document they need.
Yeah.
But in your eye, what are the complicated part for a buyer to approve the loan?
Okay. So one thing about our business is that I might have two clients buying the same exact house right next door to each other, and their loan experience can be completely different, because everybody has their own unique situations when it comes to buying a house. Whether you're a W-2 wage earner, whether you're self-employed, whether you're a combination of both, whether you file business returns, Schedule C's on your personal tax return. So there's a lot that goes into the loan process, and I don't expect everybody to know everything, because that's my job. That's why they hire me.
Right.
But when it comes to serving the community especially, I see some specific challenges over and over that I think if we just work together better up front, it will make for a better loan experience for everybody involved. And those things are this. When we ask for documentation, whether it's pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, it's the things like, I'll get a bank statement and there'll be 1 of 4 pages, and I'll only get page 1 and 2. We always need all the documents. We need all the pages from any documents we're requesting. If it's a pay stub, we need the full 30 days worth of pay stubs, not just one pay stub, or not 30 days that happened 12 months ago. We always need the most recent information. We need W-2s for the most recent couple of years. Now, I may ask for this documentation up front so that I can review it and determine what the underwriting engine is approving and what they are going to ask for specifically. So we might ask for a lot of documentation up front. That's so that when the approval's done, we know that we can close on the property they're going to find. What we don't like to do is just have a conversation. You tell me what you make, and maybe you're not making it all on paycheck. You're making it different ways, or some of it we can't document. Maybe you have a side job or a second job that you haven't had for long enough. So you may think that you're making X amount of dollars per month, but we can only use a portion of that money because that's all that we can document on paychecks. Okay, so getting that information up front, because what happens is if I just ask those questions and somebody tells me, and then I give you a pre-approval letter or them a pre-approval letter to go shop for a home, they find a house and then they send me the documents, well, the numbers don't match. And that becomes very frustrating for the buyers, for everybody involved, when if we do that work up front and we get those paychecks, we get the bank statement, we get the IDs, and we know right that we have a solid buyer, the process is going to be much smoother for everybody.
So what he wants to say in simple words, before offering a property, please send all the document to the lender.
Correct.
Lender will verify, lender will justify, lender will review. Maybe lender will send all the document to their underwriter, and they will get finally approved. And you will know 100% sure you will buy the house. But some people, what he wants to say, আমি একটু বাংলায় বলি, উনি যেটা বলতে যাচ্ছে, দেখা গেল একটা ব্যাংক স্টেটমেন্ট দিচ্ছেন, সবগুলো পেজ দিচ্ছেন না, পেজ স্ট্যাপ দিয়েছেন পুরো মাসের দেননি, আপনি সবগুলো ইনকাম আপনি দেখাননি, আপনার কো সাইনার আছে আপনার সাথে আরেকজন করবে, তার ডকুমেন্টগুলো দেননি, ওনারা কিন্তু ফুল রিভিউ করতে পারে না। তখন অনেক সময় অনেকের ইয়েতে ওনারা হয়তো বা দেন, কিন্তু পুরো প্রসেসটা কিন্তু শেষ হয় না। তো যারা ভালোভাবে বাড়ি কিনতে চান, তারা যদি সমস্ত ডকুমেন্ট একেবারে দিয়ে দেন, ওনাদের জন্য প্রসেসটা ভালো হয়, ইজি হয়, and that will be easy for them to approve your final loan. This is the number one issue. Number two, I have a question for you. People are asking about the down payment and the gift money.
That's what I was going to.
অনেকেই বলে যে আমার টাকা আছে 20,000 টাকা আছে, but in cash in my pocket, and can you use it in the down payment? What is the answer?
No. So the quick
straight answer is no.
The one thing that lenders will not allow you to use is cash. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you're a waiter getting tips, if you do side jobs where you get paid cash, we cannot use cash to qualify you for a mortgage.
Okay, but people are allowed to use as a gift money, am I right?
Well, if they have family members.
Okay, that family members means what are those family? Who are those family?
It could be an aunt, an uncle, a brother, a sister, a brother-in-law, a sister-in-law. Those are the most common.
Those are the most common
sources of relatives that will give gifts. Okay.
Okay, and they can gift any money, any amount of money.
Any amount of money.
Any amount of money. Full down payment.
Correct, and full closing costs.
And full.
Everything can come as in the form of a gift.
If suppose I am a buyer, if I have no money in my pocket and I am a very good well-wisher, very good friend or family members who can gift money for me, all the money for down payment and closing costs, I can buy the house.
You said something I don't want to get tripped up on. You said friend. So no, friends can't give gift, but yes, family members.
Family members, right.
All of it, your down payment, closing costs, everything can come from a gift.
উনি যেটা বললেন, সাপোজ as a buyer, আমার যদি পকেটে টাকাও না থাকে, আমার যদি একজন ভালো ফ্যামিলি মেম্বার থাকে যে আমার পুরো টাকাটা দিতে পারবে, আমার এমনকি ডাউন পেমেন্ট ক্লোজিং খরচ উনি পুরো টাকাই দিতে পারবে, we can buy houses, no problem. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
So
I want to talk on two quick issues, if you don't mind.
Okay.
One of the issues as I see in the community is a lot of times if you work for a, let's say that you work in a convenience store or a gas station.
Okay.
And you are getting a check, and maybe the employer, you're getting a W-2 at the end of the year, but the employer is giving you a check and you may cash it instead of depositing it into the account. It's super important that when you work for a small business, it doesn't matter if it's a convenience store, gas station, if you work for somebody, it doesn't matter what the job is. It's super important that when a small business is paying you by maybe a personal business check, not a personal check, but just a regular check that comes from their bank account, that you're depositing it into your account, so we can show the consistency to the underwriter that you are actually earning what the paycheck that you're, or the pay
receiving from the bank account, receiving from the business account,
from the business, yes,
to your personal account,
to your personal account. And that's important.
Very important.
And they should write in the memo that it's from what pay period it represents, because then when we get the pay stubs from the accountant,
and verify them,
they match, everything matches. If you are giving me a pay stub and I can't look in your bank statement to see that those checks have been deposited, even though you're getting the check and you're just cashing it,
right,
there's no way for us to document you're really getting those funds. So that's super important.
আমি যেটা, if I'm not wrong, what I understand from him, আপনি যদি স্টোরে বা কনভেনিয়েন্স স্টোর বা যেখানে কাজ করেন না কেন, আপনার ওনারের থেকে, এমপ্লয়ারের থেকে আপনি ক্যাশ নেবেন না যদি আপনি বাড়ি কিনতে চান। আপনি অবশ্যই বিজনেস অ্যাকাউন্ট থেকে আপনার অ্যাকাউন্টে আপনি চেকটা নেবেন, এবং ওইখানে চেকের মধ্যে কিন্তু লেখা থাকে মেমো, this memo, which month you are getting the salary,
which paper,
which paper, you need to mention that thing. তাহলে হচ্ছে কি ওরা ইজিলি এটা ম্যাচ করতে পারে, এবং that is very important for house buying process.
Yes.
Okay, I am asking you some, because video will be very long,
Yes.
I don't want to make it long. What are the common mistakes people are making?
I think we just talked about the
gift money issue.
Yeah, but also let me just really quick land the gift. If you're getting an FHA loan, what we need from the gift donor is a copy of their bank statement for the last 30 days to show they had the money in their account to give the gift, and a copy of the gift letter that will be provided to us that both the gift donor and the gift recipient that will need to fill out. Okay, that's for an FHA loan. On a conventional loan.
Okay, I like to stop. ও যেটা বললো আপনি যদি গিফট মানিটা নেন কারো থেকে XYZ থেকে this is a FHA loan, তাহলে কিন্তু ওই যার থেকে আপনি লোনটা নেবেন তার কিন্তু 30 দিনের একটা ব্যাংক স্টেটমেন্ট you need to submit to the lender, because আপনি যে ওই টাকাটা নিলেন এটা যে তারই টাকা এটা প্রুফ করে that proves that this money belongs to him.
Correct.
He is not collecting that money.
Right. Correct.
That is the reason. Am I right?
That is the biggest reason.
Okay.
Then if it's a conventional loan, okay, we only need the gift letter filled out. We do not require the donor to give the statement showing they had the funds. So that's the big difference.
Okay. এটা যদি conventional loan হয় দেখেন তাহলে very important হচ্ছে খুব খেয়াল করেন ওই ডোনারের যে গিফট মানি দিবে তার কিন্তু ব্যাংক স্টেটমেন্ট দেখানো লাগবে না। Very important. Am I right, sir?
Super important.
Super important. তার ব্যাংক স্টেটমেন্ট কনভেনশনাল লোনে দেখাতে হবে না। Very important. Okay, next.
Well, those are the biggest, so we're not making a 45
any kind of in your case study, what type of actually they need to be cautious before buying process.
Documentation.
Okay.
Make sure you get us the documentation that we ask for up front. So if there's anything we need to adjust, we're adjusting it before you go find a house so that we don't get in the process of buying a house and the loan becomes an issue. We want to, once you get a contract, once you are ready to shop for the contract with Mr. Manjur, you're going to have a solid pre-approval letter. When he writes a contract, it gets accepted. Then the only thing we need to do is order an appraisal, because everything else is done up front.
Right.
You do your home inspection, you order the appraisal,
right.
and then we're ready to send it to underwriting and close on time. So we don't have to ask for an extension, and we can have a harmonious process so that everyone's it's a smooth transaction.
একটা খুব মজার জিনিস কিন্তু উনি বলছেন, আমি আবারও বলি, খুব মজার একটা কথা বলি। FHA লোনে actually the buyer doesn't need any money even, am I right?
Correct.
And sometimes if realtor is smart enough, he can get some credit from the seller as well.
That's right.
Actually, you don't need any money to buy houses if you have a good documentation, am I right?
Correct.
And good income,
good credit. I mean, that's all that stuff.
What are the basic elements for FHA loan?
FHA, we can do FHA loans with the score as low as, I hate it, 500.
500?
But you might need to put extra money down, not at 3.5%.
Oh my God.
If you're below 580, you're going to need a minimum of 10% down.
Okay.
Once you get to 580 and above, the minimum requirement is 3.5%. That doesn't mean that you may not have to put a little bit more down depending on your credit profile.
Okay.
But that's where the minimum of 3.5% starts. With my company, the Schoen team at Primary Residential Mortgage, we can do 3.5% down starting at 580. Obviously, the higher the credit score, the better the interest rate's going to be. FHA just recently, and this is great news, lowered the mortgage insurance premium by 30 basis points. That means on a $300,000 house, you're going to save almost $200 a month by what they've lowered the mortgage insurance premium from 0.85 to 0.55. So that's a big advantage in this market right now. I also think, not to get off on a tangent, but the projection is that interest rates are a little bit higher right now. We're all aware of what's going on. But during this time, you can probably get a little bit of a better deal on a house because the competition is not as fierce. There's not as much because people are a little scared of higher interest rates. I tell you right now that the property appreciation and property values are all very much determined on affordability. Interest rates are headed down. Inflation is coming down. That means interest rates are going to go lower. When interest rates go lower, property values are going to start to creep up more because there'll be more buyers that can afford that same house. There is not a lot of inventory out there right now. I think right now is a great time to start buying property. And then when interest rates come down in the next 8 to 12 months, you'll be in a position to refinance, lower your payment, but you'll be in the house as the appreciation is happening, instead of looking back saying, I should have been in that house, and now you're paying more for that same house. I just wanted to...
Yeah, definitely. One question to you.
Yes.
People ask me several times this question. They think that FHA is good. What do you think?
Yeah, FHA is good for a first-time home buyer. It gives you ability...
What is the basic difference between conventional and FHA?
Well, first of all, it allows for higher debt-to-income ratios, which means you can afford more house on an FHA loan versus a conventional. The underwriting criteria is a little looser than it is for a conventional loan.
Okay.
So there's just a couple of things like that will allow somebody with lower credit scores. In order to get a conventional loan, the minimum credit score is 620, period. And if you have a 620, chances are you're going to have to put more money down to qualify. FHA doesn't really differentiate too much on the credit score. Once you have enough credit score to qualify, you can put the minimum down payment down.
One more question to you. There is a question people are asking. অনেকে আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করেন যে FHA লোনে down payment assistance. Can you tell me something about my viewers? How the down payment assistance from government?
Yes, so there are programs, and those are very buyer specific, because there are certain credit scores and different types of bond loans that are available to help you with your down payment. Some of them are second mortgages with no payments. Some of them are up to 3 or 4% towards your closing costs. And then when you sell your house, you may have to pay them back.
But you need to pay, am I right?
Yes.
You need to pay in the long run.
In the long
run,
yes.
In the initial period,
it may help you. Correct.
But now, is there any critical document you need for the down payment assistance?
Well, it just depends on what that assistance program requires. Typically, it's not going to be much more than the same requirements we're going to require for the loan.
Okay.
There is a great program out there right now called Hometown Heroes.
Hometown Heroes?
It gives you up to 5% of the loan amount towards you. You can use it as down payment and closing costs. However, it's only for a specific field of work. So it's your first responders, your CNAs, your nurses, your doctors, your pharmacists. There is a list, and if you just contact us, if you're the viewers contact us, we can provide them with the list of occupations that qualify for that program.
Relatives of this group?
No. Either are lenders. So don't feel bad.
So it's a very nice session, and thank you, Jason. Thank you very much.
Manjur,
it's very আমরা খুব কুইক বলেছি। আমি জানি ভিউয়ার্সদের it's not easy to, so আমরা অনেক দ্রুত বলেছি। We are very quick, but we are covering so many issues. আমরা আসলে আমি আরেকটা ভিডিও করব এরপরে, যেটা হচ্ছে আমরা কিছু সেশন will make some good session for the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely.
They will organize a seminar. And
whatever we can do to help educate the community.
For today, for these topics, these two topics we just covered today. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thank you to come all over from West Palm Beach to here.
Of course.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.